Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's, and I have here a Renault Traffic Vauxhall Vivaro. So this has had some typical work done that I see on the Facebook groups all the time. Right, so it's got engine failure hazard on, and maybe a few other messages. Check injection comes up and check anti-pollution system. All the usual errors really. So this guy has bought this van, and within 5 minutes of driving away home, the light comes on, and obviously contacting back the customer, private customer that he bought it from. No response. He bought it from outside a car park in a block of flats, so he doesn't even know where the guy lives. And then he said, you know, he's been on the forums and all the usual stuff has been happening. Get your DPF deleted, get your DPF deleted, this guy. And then people on there private message me because they don't want to post on there what they're actually doing. And the problem is I've seen this a lot of times, and I haven't really made a video on this, so I thought I'd just make a video highlighting this problem that we've got here. So what's happened here is someone's come out and deleted the DPF on this. Now shortly afterwards the van is losing power. What's going on? It's got an engine failure hazard on there. The same problem that he had on before that was there before a DPF delete was done. So if we look on here, we've got zero pressure on the DPF. So you can see on here that a lot of the software is sort of confused because it says we've got 16 grams of soot, we've got zero pressure. Last time I done a regen 0 kilometers ago. That's not true, because if we rev the van up, we can see here there is no pressure reading on the DPF. Software has been deleted, it's been manipulated. But now if we come around and climb under the van here, if you can see that we have almost 70 millibars of pressure in the DPF. DPF is blocked. You can see there the DPF itself is clean. There's no soot on it. So unfortunately what's happened here is someone's came out. You see it a lot on Facebook. Oh, I do these repairs and I do this software stuff, or I'm a remapper. They come out, put some cheap software on your van. Now the van is pulsing or jerking, hunting, whatever you'd like to call it. It's lost power. He's got a blocked DPF, but the DPF hasn't been deleted. So basically he's done the software, but the physical side of the DPF hasn't been touched. And what's going to happen there is you know, you'll start losing power. You'll then maybe damage your DPF, and even worse, you can actually damage your complete engine. So what they've done is they've just put a band-aid on a broken leg basically. And the worst part of it all was the check injection light comes on within 5 minutes of that happening, because I'm going to read the fault codes for you now. If we look at the fault codes, we have preheating unit fault. So what he would have had here first was preheating unit was for the glow plugs, and then a blocked DPF. So what's everyone's answer to that? Do a DPF delete, but you haven't fixed. This is the cause of the DPF blocking. Now you've masked off the DPF fault by deleting it, but you haven't fixed that. If you just fixed that problem in the first place, your DPF could have just been cleaned, and then your van would be working. You wouldn't have this engine failure hazard on. So by doing the DPF delete, not only have you not fixed your error regarding the engine failure hazard, you've also now made your van worse, because you've got manipulated software with a DPF still in place, and within time the turbo and engine will fail on this engine if it's not rectified. Now unfortunately for me, I can't fix the software on this. I don't do remapping, and I've gave the customer options of me trying to clean out the DPF, see if it actually physically gets down clean. If that works, I can then forward them to a guy that I do use for software, who can put the original software back on the van, and it will be fixed. Unfortunately, the customer is now a bit short cashed, so he can't afford to do any of that. So I'm a bit stuck. So all I'm doing is just telling him what's wrong, and really what needs to be done here to fix it is clean the DPF, new software, put the old software back on. Sorry. Once the DPF's been cleaned, I need to then physically check the health of the DPF. What is the pressure like? The likeliness is that the DPF will just be cleaned and it'll be fine, but there is a chance it may need a DPF replacement. Slight chance of that. But this is the sort of stuff you see when people sort of go down the DPF delete route. So I've seen it many times. I had an Audi in last week and a Mercedes, turbo underboosting, airflow correlation faults, and a DPF fault alongside that, and people's answer to that were, have the DPF deleted. So you've deleted your DPF, but your car is still running like crap because you haven't fixed your underboost fault. People should, if you've got faults listed on a scan tool, the last fault you need to be looking at is your DPF. For some reason, if people have got 5 or 6 faults there, the first one they want to jump to is the DPF, either having it deleted or having something done to it. The DPF should be the end of the line. So you fix all of your other issues, then you can worry about your DPF. If your other issues are fixed, likeliness is your DPF will now be fine. The DPF is just telling you that your vehicle isn't running right, and your ECU is programmed to tell it not to do its own regen while there is like a glow plug fault or turbo underboosting fault. Okay, so that's basically it for the chat about this van, and I'll see you on our next video.